What's going on, everybody? Coach Martucci of the Underdog Velocity Program back here with a special client interview. I'm with my man Aaron. Aaron, I'll let you introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey, I'm Aaron McGumphy. I'm currently going into my sophomore year at Ottawa University in Kansas, and that's from Texas. About it.
Yeah, man. I mean, you've been one of the guys crushing it in the program, so really excited to have you on here, for this interview.
I mean, it's a great program. I'm excited. I'm glad I found it.
So why don't you tell us a little bit more about that, man? Like, walk us through that whole situation where, like, you found me. I know we chatted a little bit. You were like on a bus ride and like playing in the middle of your season and stuff, and then we got on a call with your dad who was in the gym. We had like a three-way Zoom. Like, just kind of touch on that a little bit. I think it's a great
So,
story.
so my summer going into my freshman year of college, I was sitting 88 to 90. I was topping 92, and I'm only 5'9". I was 165 pounds at the time, so I'm not a real big dude. And so I was in the fall, I had actually got injured and started a sprain. Everything velo was down, and I was sitting 83 to 85, and it just wasn't rolling the way I wanted to. So I started looking around, and I started looking at programs, try to velocity building programs, also try to help my arm recover. And I was scrolling Instagram one day, and I came across one of your videos explaining, if you're kind of a smaller guy and you're looking to throw harder, then reach out. So that's when I filled out the little questionnaire you have on Instagram and you reached out to me. I mean, this is before we had even discussed any baseball. You just reached out to get to know me and everything, and it was probably 3 days worth of you getting to know me, and that honestly kind of sold me for the most part because you actually cared about the players. You're not just it's a money grab. You actually care, and
Appreciate
so
that, man.
I won the program. I was still battling injury a little bit. After I started it, probably about a month later, because it was still early season when we started. About a month later, I started getting back up into the 88s, and it was starting to feel good again. I went into my first outing of the summer back at 90, and the injury re-flared. But I stuck with the program. I started doing all my drills, doing all my lifting, doing everything. And towards the end of this last summer, the injury finally subsided and went away. And my last outing, I went 4 innings in 2 days, and both outings, I was 89, 90, top in 92. And that was the first time I had been back to 92 in literally a year, and also at a leaner body weight. So.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. I mean, battling injuries is something that unfortunately a lot of pitchers go through, but I think you've managed it really well considering the circumstances and working on the right things and getting you back on track. And, why don't you just kind of tell us, like, you're throwing 92 at what's your height and weight right now?
I'm 5'9". I'm 158 right now. This is the leanest I've ever been at this weight, however. Last time I was this weight, I was a little pudgy, a lot of shape.
So 5'9", 158 pounds, topping 92 miles per hour. What would you say to people that say, oh, you're too small to throw that hard?
Um, I'd say a little bit is a gift, a little bit is a natural gift from God. But I'd say it doesn't really matter how tall, how heavy you are, if you can do the drills and master your mechanics, really. I mean, the sky's the limit. You can reach whatever velocity you want.
Couldn't agree more, man. And I know you're being really humble here, but like you're a big time like power lifter and stuff. So like tell us a little bit about your background. Like I know like you're definitely a workhorse in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I've never been a big dude. I've always been real small, real undersized my whole life. So going into my eighth grade year, my dad got me in the gym, started lifting right about the time I turned 14. I've been lifting consistently for just about 6 years now. And I'd say weightlifting has really helped along the way. I think I'm a big believer in the stronger you are and the faster you can move your body, the more athletic and just the harder you throw, the faster you move, you run faster. And you can outcompete those guys who have that natural given talent, but who don't do the work such as weightlifting.
Yeah, 1,000%, especially if you're training the right way, which obviously, you're a testament to that considering the circumstances you're in right now. I mean, what was probably, to this point, your favorite part of the program and something that if somebody asked you about it, like you would highlight as something that you've seen a good benefit from?
I mean, something I would definitely highlight would be for drills. It's not real focused around throwing a baseball specifically. It's more focused around getting you moving your body correctly. And I'd say I saw it this summer actually. I went in. I used to have this real big like Aroldis Chapman like kind of wind up, try to get everything out of my body.
Of course.
And eventually that is what it led to my injury. I was putting too much strain on the arm, not enough strain on the legs. And you identified that in the first meeting. I showed you a video and you're like, hey man, your back hip isn't turning, it's not opening up correctly. So I want, you gave me the drills to do it. I'd say probably early summerish, so that's probably 2.5 months in, um, is when I really started feeling like instead of kind of having to get real tall and real up and then kind of pushing out of my drive, I started feeling like I was sitting into it and I was pushing my knee down and into the ground and I was like snapping harder and I just felt like I was throwing harder with significantly less effort.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, most guys do struggle with the lower half, and especially for guys our size, under 6 foot, it's so paramount that you use the lower half properly because so many guys think if I just move really fast, I'll throw really fast. And we've all tried that. And unfortunately, you eventually kind of hit a ceiling where you
Yeah,
can only move so fast and you're only so herky jerky and max effort. And then you start losing command of the ball too, which is definitely something you don't want to do, especially at the college level where you're at.
you're right. And that is one thing I will say is throughout the last 5 months or so, my command has significantly increased. I used to be effectively wild, where like I threw hard enough and I threw enough balls that like you would kind of look for a walk instead of looking to hit the ball or just be effectively wild. But I'd say over the last 5 months, getting my lower half moving correctly and getting being able to throw harder, less effort, my command has jumped up to that 55%, 60% range. And I've definitely seen a large increase with breaking balls too, where I'm starting to get more Ks at the college level because that's what early on, that is something I struggled with was avoiding barrels come because I was just a fastball guy. I was just move my body as fast as possible and couldn't throw an off speed to save it.
Yeah, and as you know, there's more to pitching than just throwing hard. You know, a lot of guys think it's just rear back and throw it, and that is the fun part. But again, as you climb the ladder and you want to play at these higher levels and be recruited and put those numbers up, yeah, you have to actually be a pitcher too. So it's awesome to hear that that's improving for you as well. You know, a lot of people think that command and velocity are separate. Like if you're using your body properly, you should be throwing as hard as you can and also having the best command as possible because then your mechanics are consistent, right? I mean, to me, that's common sense.
That's what consistency I think is probably the word I was looking for. The repetitiveness of my motion has just become like second nature. As I go through it, I know what to feel, I know what I'm looking for, and if there's it happens where you just sometimes the pitch doesn't
Of
like the
course,
motion
yeah,
doesn't go the way you planned. It happens, but I can now. I've done it so repetitively now that I can feel it and I immediately know what to fix.
for sure, man. So, I mean, what's next? What's next for you? I know we've talked a little bit about the road to 95 and stuff. So, like, what's on the horizon for Aaron?
Uh, so I'm definitely still pushing towards 95. I'm definitely trying to get to where I'm sitting 90, 92, 91, 93, topping that 95. I just personally I think there's no reason a coach should look at a smaller guy throwing 95 and go, there's no reason they shouldn't want a guy like that in my opinion, but I'm not a coach, so I don't know all of it,
Control what you can control, man.
but I'm definitely looking to still increase velocity, command, and try to get to the next level.
Yeah, what is that next level for you? Like, what are you hoping to achieve?
So I'm going into my sophomore year, so next level for right now. The next step would be trying to get to a D1,
Hmm.
and then from there, the next step is obviously trying to go play pro ball.
Yeah, man, play as long as you can. That's awesome.
So that's the goal.
Sweet, man. So I guess last question for now. If somebody's watching this right now and they're in a similar situation to you, high school kid or maybe a parent, and they're hesitant about, scheduling a call with me or even applying for the program because they're just unsure, what
Yeah.
kind of advice would you give them, um,
Uh,
just based on your experience?
I mean, my best advice would be if you're not sure of it, just go ahead and apply for it, and just that's the thing. Because I was unsure of it too when I applied. I mean, there's a lot of things on the internet that aren't what they seem. So
Of
I was
course,
really,
yeah, of course.
skeptical when I applied. But yeah, I mean, you reached out to me, and within, the first week, we hadn't even scheduled a Zoom yet, and within the first week, you were genuinely going out of your way to text me and get to know me and whatnot. And so, I mean, I would say just go ahead and apply, schedule that meeting. There's no harm in taking the meeting, and I think the program really is what it lives like. It really lives up to what it is. It's definitely a good program.
Appreciate you, man. And again, you're the testament of it because I can only do so much on my end. I can only guide you as much as possible, but it's up to you to put the work in. And again, I know you're being really humble here. I know you really are a really hard worker. So I'll say it if you won't. Like I know that you really care so much and you do put so much into this. And there are days where maybe you're not feeling the greatest, and there's a lot of reasons why you don't have to train, but you still do it anyway. And that's a testament to you and your character. So I just want you to know I'm super proud of you. I'm sure your family's super proud of you. You should be really proud of yourself. And the future's bright for you, man. But of course, we just got to keep at it because it's only going to get harder from here. But I think you're built for it mentally and physically, and I'm excited to see where you end up.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, man. I won't take any more of your time. Appreciate you coming on. Excited for the next interview when you hit 95 very soon.